Well, good evening, everyone, and hope you're all well. And if you, as usual, will let me know that I'm live before I start, just send a message through and let me know that you're hearing me loud and clear. This will be the last workshop. We've done 10 workshops, and this will be a final one for the moment anyway, and we'll just see about doing maybe some in the future if there's a real interest in it. So I'm waiting. Rona, yeah, good evening. That's great. Thanks so much. And thanks so much for joining me, and thanks so much for being with me over the last 10 weeks. Really enjoyed taking some Gaelic Psalms to you. And as I said, this will be the sort of last one in this bunch anyway. And if you're interested and if you're a Gaelic speaker, keep your eyes and ears open for me starting a workshop which will be exclusively in Gaelic, starting probably next week. So I don't want to say too much about it because I think it'll probably be promoted elsewhere. So, as I said, what I was thinking that we would do tonight is go back over what we've learned so far, what we've actually done with regard to the Psalms to date. We've spent time on Kilmarnock, we've spent time on martyrdom, and we've done martyrs, and we've also done Torwood. So that was the 4 tunes that we focused on over the last sort of 10 weeks. And as I said, I'm always open to feedback from you. If we do some more, what you would like me to spend more time on. Maybe I was insulting your intelligence by spending so much time doing the music part of it. Maybe I should be spending more time doing the Gaelic part, or if you can let me know whether you think the mixture was fine, because it was really focused mostly on non-Gaelic speakers, but people who are interested in Gaelic psalm singing. And I wasn't wanting the Gaelic to be a barrier in any way. And for me, it still isn't a barrier. The learning of the Gaelic, if you're really interested in the style, is not going to be a problem. So what I was thinking I would do tonight, so that's Rona, Alistair, Feskerma, Alistair, Alexandra, Baron, Feskerma, Smisha, Australia, Ontario, Canada. Feskerma ut. So for the Shaisha, heen, na chlannisha ma yen na butchen oprach hake, ma Gaelic acu, agus ha mit all the horschlu genu stre elle, the halaman, hadisheth stoch jech shech gunyen elle, na jech strehen. So what I was wanting to do tonight is really do a wee recap and go back over, starting with Kilmarnock. Isabel, hello Isabel. Isabel Thompson. Nice to see you, Isabel. And what I'll do is, let's start off with Kilmarnock. And I'm just going to end up putting the headphones on, and we're just going to play through it because I think it's really good. And I think most of you should really, if you've been following all along, should be pretty familiar with it. So I'm going to set up, first of all, Kilmarnock. Now here we are with Kilmarnock, and what we've got is, we've got the melody here, which is always in the soprano line, like I mentioned many times, and we've got the Gaelic that we're going to use for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to straight into it, and I'm going to end up playing Kilmarnock and maybe singing along to it myself to give you an idea, and hopefully you'll sing along to it at the same time. So let's do it, and I'll try and show you where the words are.
Onder moje slijf
Presenting line.
Arloasher mi
Verse 2. First line. Presenting.
Din jävnes
Congregation repeat. I'll join you when I do. Presenting. Great Angidoa, the late Angidoa, Hans Mackay. Ghana Haina. Center line 3.
Mjolfos koni astjena Etian noch
Okay, that was the great Angus Mackay, the late, I knew him really well from Garnahaina. Really old style singing. Kilmarnock, one of my own favourite tunes, I have to say. Stylistically, it's really a lovely tune. And what I was wanting to really find out of you is, we could have spent time going over it and following the notes. If you were wanting me to just show you where the main notes are as we're coming to it, let me just play the first line again, and I'll just follow the notes in the first line, just the actual notes itself, just so that you know. Here we go. Presenting line, did you see her?
Onder moje slijf
Then the congregation repeats, so here we go.
kör mycket bra.
Okay then, so that's Kilmarnock. Now we move on to the next, and it's great to see you, Nancy. Nancy Hagan, a good friend of mine from Nashville, Tennessee. Herself and Scott Newbert. Lovely to for them to join us. And Maggie McKinnon, yes, Maggie from Tongue, living in Ness now, and it's great for you to join us for this sort of final workshop that I'm doing at this particular time. Now, so that's Kilmarnock. Let's now move on to Martyrdom. We're going to do the same thing again with Martyrdom. Be a different presenter. And again, the words are up here, the Gaelic words are up, and I'll just follow that. And we've got the tune as well. So let's do it. Murdo MacLeod presenting.
Tiana tråke
Presenting line now. Congregation joins in now. Join in at home now. Okay, so that was the great Murdo MacLeod from Stornoway, Murdy Park End as we know him, who's still going strong, Murdo, and it's one of the best presenters that we have. Really great, he's got a great feel, pitches them always really well. So has anyone got any questions at all before we move on? So we've done Kilmarnock and we've done Martyrdom, and as I mentioned before, all these tunes will fit all the psalms, but normally you will have tunes that are recognizable by certain psalms. And one way of memorizing them is to have a certain psalm, and immediately you think of the psalm. This is really more for Gaelic speakers than anyone else, and for memorizing them. A certain psalm will, immediately you hear the words in the psalm, you'll know straight away, well, this is a tune that will work for this. And you know, there's loads of them. There's an example there of Martyrdom, Psalm 57, always a tune that's sung to it. And there's plenty of other examples of that. Okay then, now let's now move on to one of my own favourites, which is the very minor mode. A lot of Gaelic psalms are in very modal in structure, and this is a minor mode called Martyrs, and we've got the late great Alistair Graham, and let us hear it.
You make your
ever going to hear singing like that again? I hope so indeed. Nothing like it. There is nothing like it. Okay then, who have we got? Ciela, Craigie, Montrose. Well, if you stick around, if you're a Gaelic speaker, I think Montrose will be one of the ones that hopefully I'll be doing over the next 10 weeks or next 10 workshops that I'm going to do through the medium of Gaelic. But when we come back to, but if you're not, hopefully I'll return to that. Because now I mentioned just earlier on there that certain psalms would jump to mind. Now, say for example, Kayla's talking about there with Montrose. Now, immediately that I think of Montrose, I will think of a psalm. And the psalm that I would think of would be Psalm 9. Le mulach rivet me gut art van de bine ye. Le mulach rivet me gut art van de bine ye. Estoy premier valoch erfahrt. Okay, so that's Montrose. Link that in with a psalm. That's how Montrose would come to me straight away. Now then, so let's now look at Torwood. A good favourite of a lot of people, I think. I like it myself. And presenting, we've got D.N. Smith from the late D.N. Smith from Barbers. Lovely man and a great presenter, and singing very much in the old style, the old traditional style. So Torwood. So that's Torwood. Lovely tune. I really like it. And a lot of people really like tune. It starts in one of the high notes. So it's usually quite a good one to pitch because there's only one other note I think that's above. So let's see, that's a C sharp. I think, yes. So there's one note that goes higher than that. There's a couple of notes that actually go higher. So you're not really going that far above it. So if you pitch that one reasonably high, so you would go da 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 da. So the first part of it, da 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 So that's where it all the grace notes are sort of added to it. Which is what Gaelic does to it. If you were going to do it in English or do it at the pace, da 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 da, anisht. Okay, if you're going to do it at the usual sort of pace that you would do Torwood at if you were in an English service, da 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 da. So you have da 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 da, and then we slow it right down to Okay, so Chrissy, hello Chrissy. Is that your favourite? Torwood. It's a favourite of a lot of people. I love them all anyway. I don't have any real particular favourites. I just love all of them. So let me give you a wee, now we just, over this last 10 weeks, because I wanted to focus so much on spending a bit of time going over the music. And if you feel as if you would like, when we start this up again, just focus on one tune for each session. I will go over all the ones that I can do, that I know myself quite well, and maybe you can have a wee think. And we've done Kilmarnock, Martyrdom, Martyrs and Torwood. Now then, let's go through what I've got in my book here. There's Bangor, there's Palermo, there's Coleshill, Dundee, Evan, French, Free Church, Glencairn, Kilmarnock, we've done Martyrs, Martyrdom, we've done Martyrdom, Montrose, Moravia, Morven, New London, New Cambridge, Stornoway, Stroudwater, St David, St Paul, St Mary's, Torwood we've done, and Walsall. So that's a good selection there. And when God willing, I return back with you again to do another session, probably if God spares us in the new year. I'm hoping that you'll join. We've got an average of about 40 or 50 people joining us each Tuesday evening. So I don't want to really take up huge amount of your time. I think half an hour, 40 minutes is probably long enough, to be with you. And I'd like to thank you so much for being with me over the last 10 weeks. And I said, keep your ears open and your eyes open because I will be doing some more workshops. And this time the workshops will be completely and exclusively in Gaelic. So these are really for Gaelic speakers because I've been asked to do a further 10 workshops just exclusively through the medium of Gaelic. But if there is a want, and if you're really wanting me to end up coming back and doing some more through the medium of English, just because I don't want the language to be a barrier to people who, like me and a lot of others, love this music. We want to do everything that we can to keep it alive. There's a big danger of it disappearing with this generation, and that would be a great pity. So, thank you very much indeed. And during these strange times that we're living in, when I come back next time, hopefully it'll be with this horrible COVID have gone, disappeared. That's what we hope anyway. And look after yourselves. And until we meet again, every blessing. Chula bianach gaivula. Fesker ma.